Today, I would like to introduce Chuck Roscoe, VP of Operations, and Ken Hunter, Senior Tech Support at Cybra. Chuck, Ken, if you guys are ready, I'll pass it over to you guys.
Hi, sure.
Ready to rock and roll. Thanks a lot, Phil.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody taking the time to join us today in our big release of MarkMagic X, or also known as MarkMagic 10. We kind of get it confused here back and forth. We'd be using X and 10. It's all the same. So we're releasing it today. And the mod level, I just have listed here on the screen, just as an FYI, because I didn't want to forget, for version 10 is 200831. So when Ken and I are talking to you today and showing you the different slides, and then Ken's going to show you actual live demo of the product, just keep in mind that the MarkMagic AS400 version 10, MarkMagic PI, which is platform independent version 10, and JMagic, they're all brand new. They're all version 10. They all use the same mod level. So when you go to our website, and all this will be available at midnight for download, you'll see that mod level on version 10. If the old version of MarkMagic was 9.5, so we're going from 9.5 to 10, right? And just like all the other versions of MarkMagic, when you upgrade, especially on the AS400 or I-Series folks, you can keep your older version running and the new version running side by side, and so on. So I'm going to go through just a couple slides pretty quickly, and then I'm going to hand it over to Ken, who's going to show you, man, I think it's probably about 70–80% of the new features. We're going to whiz right through it. Just keep in mind that this is a really high level, what we're showing you today. And by all means, reach out to us with any questions. You go to help@cybra.com. There's the email address there. You can call us, or sales@cybra.com. And we could schedule a one-on-one little demo or conversation just to talk about particular features or functions that are important to you. That is no problem. It's free of charge and all that good stuff. We love doing it. So, and as Phil mentioned earlier, please throw some questions in the question box there. We have some awesome masks that we have that we're going to be sending out. So I'll tell you right now, if you ask us a question, any question, we'll be sure to send you a few masks, and we got some cool recyclable bags too for shopping and all that. So we got some bling that we can send out to you for the holidays. Speaking of masks, I hope everybody is healthy and safe. I mean, it seems like this pandemic is never ending, but there is certainly some light at the end of the tunnel. I hope you all feel the same optimism as I do, that we're going to get through this, and we'll get through it together. So without further ado, let me go through just a couple of the at a high level, the features that Ken's going to be showing in just a minute. And these are just bullet points. I actually have a small slide for each of these little features. So here, I'll just go right into the slides. The new look and feel for JMagic. So a lot of you folks use JMagic every single day. We made it a little nicer and cleaner, so the icons at the top are nice. During the install, there's some different icons during the startup and so on. It's got a new look and feel to it, so it's something to look forward to in version 10. The SQL feature, and we've talked about this a few times over the last 6 months or so. This is a big deal for MarkMagic, and this is MarkMagic AS400 and MarkMagic PI, which is the ability to access data from totally different data sources, some different databases from other platforms up in the cloud, for any of your formats. It could be a label like this carton content label. It could be a form, it could be anything, right? It's just all fair game. So just a quick example, and Ken's gonna actually show this live, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but the new feature is listed here under Utilities, SQL field. You can even highlight which fields on your format are using the SQL feature. And this is available for enterprise customers. So if on the AS400 folks, it's enterprise. If you have labels or forms, you can certainly go to enterprise. A lot of you are already enterprise already. And on the MarkMagic PI side, you're already enterprise, so you get this free with version 10. I mean, there's nothing extra you have to do. We already have enterprise. So how does it work? Pretty straightforward. On the format itself, you can actually create SQL fields where you can access data. So an example here is this format's grabbing data from this SQL server. And then further down in blue, it's getting from an Oracle database. This is information that you would not have otherwise. And I'll just speak to the AS400 folks for a second. this data may be running, on this Oracle database up in the cloud, right? For your vendor database, how would you get that data onto this format? You'd have to do some programming, right? Some development to get the data back and forth and also maintain it and all that. All that goes away with this SQL feature where you just define it on the format itself. And again, Ken will show you, and it's just live. We're connecting to that other database for you. And at print time, we're automatically getting that data and putting it on the format and printing it, or you can PDF it and all that good stuff. So again, more on that with Ken. PDF converter. This is a new thing for Cybra where we can actually think of it as an image, really, right? So we could always take images like JPEGs and PNGs and GIFs and convert them into a MarkMagic source image and target graphic and print it out. We can now do that with PDFs as well. So the example that we have here, and this is kind of becoming a bigger and bigger thing, is we have accounts that are receiving PDF documents, or in this case, a label from totally other vendors, right? It's just a PDF, right? So this happens to be a shipping label. And they want to merge that or combine that into a MarkMagic format. Now, granted, MarkMagic could create this whole label by itself, but there's some of these third-party companies out there, plus the good old FedEx and UPS are like, you know what, we already created the label, it's already certified, you can just use it as is. So we made it super easy to do, where you can it'll get converted, and you can add it easily to a MarkMagic format. And there's another thing that actually Ken is going to show you. So as wild as that is, he's going to show you how to do that in about 30 seconds. So that's the PDF piece. Along with the PDF piece, we got a little carried away in a good way with graphics with version 10, in that we added the ability to do this cropping of images. So when you grab even that PDF here, I'll go back to this PDF here, I could have said just take part of the PDF and put it over here. And you can do the same thing with graphics. And that's another thing, Ken will show you how to do that. You can remove white space. You could have a 20-page like PDF document that's sent, and we could automatically just take page 7, part of page 7, if that's all you want, and just use that in there. So there's more on that in just a moment. Print monitor, just again to the AS400 folks out there, where we could always, print monitor can be, you can use it to watch spool files and output queues for a new file that hits it and that triggers MarkMagic to automatically print. Again, no programming involved. Print monitor can be used to watch a database file for a new record, right? And as soon as that new record hits, we automatically print and do some stuff, again, with no programming. We've added a third option now for IFS. So we can actually monitor a directory, and when a new file hits that directory, it'll automatically trigger a MarkMagic event, which could be printing or PDFing or copying files over and stuff like that. Ken's going to show you more on that in just a moment. I promise I'm going to stop talking in just a minute. Also, there's a new jobs option. So if you use MarkMagic jobs, there's always been 3 steps that are optional. You got print, edit, and copy. We added another one called graphic conversion. We did that as a way to help automate some of these graphic conversions, where if you're using the monitor I just talked about, you could have the monitor then call this job, which is doing the graphic conversion, all behind the scenes, 0 programming, and you could have hundreds or thousands of these PDFs or images coming in, and it's automatically being converted all the time without any programming. For you MarkMagic PI folks, and for you folks on the AS400 who aren't aware, you may not know that Cybra also has this MarkMagic PI product, again, for platform independent, written 100% in Java, really great to running up in the cloud and on different servers and so on. And the same JMagic interface, by the way, is used against MarkMagic PI and MarkMagic AS400, so there's no like learning curve or anything. It's just runs in a different environment. But anyway, on the PI product, we added a fusion or a centralized database option. So these are kind of like I think of as power users, where you may have multiple MarkMagic versions in different DCs around the country, around the world. And instead of maintaining your formats individually at maybe these 20 different warehouses, right, where you may have MarkMagic installed on each one, or even up in the cloud, right, where you got load balancing going back and forth, and you got new MarkMagics coming up, going down. And if you make a change to a format, you got to make sure that format is carried over to these other new instances that got spooled up. So we made that super easy with centralized database, and that all your printing is going to look back at one centralized database, one server basically in MarkMagic. And so anytime you make a change there, all the other 50, 20, 100, of your print licenses will be always using the same exact format. So they're always up to date. Helps you with the maintenance, and you don't have to worry about, even though it's relatively, easy to export your formats from one instance and import them over to another. You don't even have to worry about that with the Fusion piece. New help documentation that Ken's going to show you. So we've updated all the help on the MarkMagic green screen and the MarkMagic PI web interface. So you'll see that, and it's made for each environment. So it's really great, super useful. And some other features that are in version 10, strike through, you got italics and bold. We've had that forever, all that type of stuff, and condense. You can also do strike through. Your boxes can have rounded corners, kind of like this box right here. There's a little rounded corner on there. We increased the length of a heading field it was always a maximum of 30. We increased that to 350. And Ken's going to show you that, and it's super useful. I wish we had it years ago, but we have it now, and it's fantastic. Including PCL5, we increased the length of that. We increased the number of fonts you can have in MarkMagic. Doesn't come up all the time, but if you have a lot of user-defined fonts, we always had a limit of 99, so now you can go up to about 10,000 user-defined fonts. Hopefully that'll hold us over for a while. That's a lot of fonts. And even the number of fields on a format, MarkMagic PI has always supported, I think it's 10,000, actually 9,999. On the AS400 side, we increased it from 999 to 5,000. So you got 5,000 fields on there, and that's super useful when it comes to master formats as well, if you're familiar with that feature within the product. So I will now pass it over to Ken, or Ken, you can probably grab it from me, and he's gonna show you most of these features live. And again, please, everyone, feel free to send some questions to us.
Great, thanks. Took over presenting. You should see my screen. I've switched over to my remote desktop, working from home. So I've got MarkMagic AS400 started. You should be able to see that. We've got the new splash screen with the X. So that's pretty there. Just wanted to show everyone that. So I'm starting MarkMagic in a new user library called MarkMagic X that I made today, and I put some sample formats in there. We'll be looking at those, but for now I'll minimize this. Just wanted to show you the new main screen here. I'm going to open up JMagic to show you what's new there too, and then we'll get into talking about some of the new things that Chuck just mentioned. So I opened up JMagic, got it installed on my PC. It's a whole new sign-on screen, first of all. It saves your connections. So, all those users that have multiple systems, even AS400 or PI, MarkMagic PI, I can just save my connections and just choose the one I want and hit OK. No longer need to type everything back in and remember the IP addresses and all that stuff. So that's right there is great. So logging into JMagic on the AS400, I'll start in that same library, MarkMagic X, and there's a packing list that I'd like to show you, and it's going to exhibit some of the new things that we just went over. So it's under our laser printer driver, HP PCL5 pack list. Opening that up. So a lot of stuff going on here. It's a legal size document, landscape. At the bottom, immediately you could see that we're using the new very long star heading text fields. That one is a good 326 in length there. And it's you just create a new star heading text field and just type away. So rather than 30, we've got 350 now. We've got some rounded box corners here. So that's pretty cool there too. This one up here at the top too. So those are two of the newer things there. And then on this right side, we'll eventually get a shipping label over there by using a variable graphic. So it's MarkMagic's ability to automatically pull in graphics from the graphic gallery by graphic name, graphic number, description. So you would pass in, for example, order number, right? 1, 2, 3. And we'll, using this variable graphic, go out and look in the gallery for graphic number 1, 2, 3 and pull that in. So this whole new IFS monitor that Chuck mentioned, being able to look at a folder for a PDF that might drop in. So for example, you're getting this PDF from FedEx. Through their API, they're sending back this 8.5 by 11 page. You need to get this label here onto the MarkMagic form. I mean, how do you do that? I mean, what would you even do before? So now we can take this PDF, crop out this image, just this part, and bring it into the form as a PCL image, laser image. I'll jump back over to JMagic just to prove first that in my graphics gallery, it's empty. No source graphics, no target graphics. I'm going to go back to the green screen now and show you the guts of the new monitor. Utilities. Whoops, utilities. Oh, I typed in the
creating a new user library. Hey, that's okay. I don't know that was part of the demo today, but that's fine.
Very handy. Yeah, keep everything separate. MarkMag XU. No, so utilities, data, work with monitor, M. So we've got a MarkMagic monitor out there called images that I created. I'll take a look at it. We'll edit it. It's a directory monitor, directory. So this monitor is looking at a directory on the IFS /home/Cybra/images, anything.pdf. So anytime a PDF shows up in that folder, it will run a MarkMagic job called images in library MarkMag X. And that job, we'll take a look at it in a moment. There's a new thing in there that we mentioned before, being able to convert graphics. But once it's done with that, the monitor will also now has an ability to move the image to somewhere else. So I've got it going into a completed folder. It's just a way for me to know that, you know, if the image got moved there, it's probably done and good to go. So let's take a look at this job now. So everyone knows about MarkMagic jobs. We've had them forever to be able to print, copy data, edit data. But if we look at the job now, utilities, data, J for jobs. Here's a job that I called images as well. So this is a job here. We'll look at this. You used to just see this, copy, edit, and print. And you'd have a yes or no step for that. But now there's a copy graphic step. And I've got that set to yes. So this job, all it does is create target graphics, copy graphics. I could have a print step on it, so it could copy the graphic and then go and print it automatically. Just for this demo though, we're just showing off the ability to add copy graphic steps to these jobs. So I'll hit enter past that and we'll see the settings for the copy, the graphic, and to bring it into the gallery. So this one is set up to say, to work with a monitor. So whatever graphic triggered the monitor is going to be used in this conversion. So that's what *mon file means up there. You could put a path in there. If you were going to use this command in like your own program or something, you can fill in a path and a file name. But mon file means that we're going to use whatever file triggered the monitor in the conversion here. It's a PDF. And what's really cool here, now this is where the whole thing ties together once the graphic does get converted. Remember I mentioned the variable graphics being able to pull in by graphic name or number. So you're probably going to name that PDF if something related to your data. So order number 1036, right? Eventually, when I get this PDF up there, it's going to be named 1036. So that's what this means. When the conversion happens, set the graphic name to the PDF file name. So whatever the PDF file name is, what the graphic name will be. And then here is where the cropping happens. So on that image, you'll need to figure out from the PDF, you know, pixel-wise where the crop happens, you know, 1,000 pixels up, 1,000 over. So you just need 2 points, X1 and X2, Y1 and Y2. So you'd fill those in. Those are that's going to be the rectangle where it grabs it from. If you happen to grab too much white space, you can also say get rid of the white space, crop it out. So it's going to shrink in a little bit until it clears all that out around the edges. So yeah, very, very cool there. Very advanced stuff for images now. That PDF that I showed you before is just one page, and that's fine. But if you had, say, for example, a multiple page PDF come through and the label was only on the 5th page, for example, I could go down here and just say, grab only the 5th page, number 5, or a range, 5 through 7, 5-7. So a lot of options here for grabbing exactly what you need from the PDF. And then as well, once the PDF comes in, I'm telling it to just convert to laser. So that's it. So we've got the job, we've got the monitor, they're running. If I take this file, copy it, for example, this is a folder, mapped folder to my IFS. If I paste it in there, the monitor is caught it. It's being processed in Java on the AS400. It's running in the background, and once it's completed, there you go. See, it's gone. It's moved over to completed.
So that was the monitor, the new monitor feature that just did all that. The IFS monitor.
I'm gonna go to JMagic.
Yep.
So let's look, utilities, graphics, work with graphics. There's a graphic there now, 1036. If I turn on the print preview, so I have a spool file out there on hold in my out queue, which has data that all will show up here. We'll do a print preview, and it's processing that spool file now. It's got a couple of pages in it. So that's why we've got a little page flipper here. First page, we don't need the shipping label on the first page, indicating here. Go to the next page. There's that image. That's the one from the PDF.
Live.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, it's amazing. I can't wait to see what you guys do with this. It's pretty darn powerful. So, we're proud of it. And maybe someone else saw some extra stuff going on down here too. This format has some conditions on it as well. So maybe this text here disappeared, this text here shows up. So, you can layer on all sorts of smarts. So not just this new imaging stuff, there's conditions happening on here as well. Turning on the totals, turning off the messaging, stuff like that. So, this is an all-around powerful form right here now with variable graphics. So you would drop in PDFs on the IFS with different numbers, correlating with your order numbers, and as you print, it'll just pull the correct labels in. So, very cool stuff. All right.
But those long text fields. Oh, did you already show those? I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, just a quick question, just because you're talking about the monitor. Francie just threw one at us. She asked, do you have to create a routine to purge the images from the completed folder? Like, so you copied that, once it processed, you put it into another folder. I believe you can delete it would be one option, right? You don't necessarily have to copy it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's the delete option.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to keep it around. So there's the delete in the monitor, utilities, data monitor. Delete. So
yeah, so you can just delete it. I mean, which is not a bad idea because you probably don't need it anymore. So you can just delete it. Yep. We like to show everything, so that's why we want to show it jump from one folder to another folder, just the monitor and all that. Cool. Good question.
In case you ever needed to reconvert it, you can always just drag it back and have things get reconverted. So more new things on the green screen side in MarkMagic. Enhanced format logging. So, for example, you start there. I did it again, didn't I? You and the MarkMag would have gone to. So utilities, admin menu, format logging. Work with format logs. So this is brand new. Being able to keep track and trace of changes made to your formats. Maybe one day you start printing a label and the barcode's gone, and you look on the format, it's been deleted. How'd this happen? Who did this? Why was someone in here editing? When did they do this? What did they change something from and to? We can check all of that out now. All the changes to your formats can now be logged. Even something as simple as a changing of a font. You can see someone the exact time and date someone went in and changed the font. So, for example, we know someone went in and changed one of our zebra labels, and we want to see every single change to any of the zebra labels from the beginning of time. No, you can actually narrow it down. If you know yesterday someone was working on it, you could put a date and time here, but we'll just leave these blank. So if we go in here, we can see that someone was editing ship label. The FedEx label was also being edited earlier. Date and time stamps are on the right. What field was changed, what was changed about it, something was updated or deleted. So we can go down and see, oh, there's someone updated the row here on this text field. This is the one, ship label W1. Let's see who did that. What's going on here? Option 5.
Wait.
Oh, Chuck.
What? Those are my initials. I did that. I did.
So why'd you move that down? You moved that down. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
So it's full transparency now. You could see what was changed from what to what, when it was done, by whom. So
yeah, super granular, as you can tell. And we see a lot of this in like the healthcare industry for some of their labels and the certifications and everything that they have. And it's really important for them to have this kind of chain of custody and also be able to see if all of a sudden something is out of compliance, what was changed, so they can easily, as you see a snapshot before and after, so you can easily change it back if need be.
Like, look at this one, deleted. All of a sudden the barcode's gone. Hey, look at this. The B barcode was gone from the FedEx label. Who did that? Oh, whoops.
Oh.
That was me.
That was you. Busted. You busted yourself on all these people.
Darn it. Okay. So we can talk to Ken and figure out why he did that and go put it back. Anyways, so format logging, great stuff. We'll back up. There's another new thing too, being able to search throughout all of your formats across all of your libraries for anything, for field names, for field attributes, for if a format is using a data field in a link, for example. So you have a fleet of zebra labels, maybe. What am I doing? Not 21. We're doing search utility number 22, excuse me. So for example, you've got a master format, ton of data fields on it, and you need to know all of the other zebra labels that are using a certain data field. So maybe only 3 or 4 of your zebra labels are using field, for example, L1 case on your master format. You're making a change to L1 case, you're putting more data into it, so you need to figure out which fields are linking to it. And it just letting you know, that's not just for this, figuring out what fields are linking to. You can find anything. How many fields across all of my formats use Times font? You can find all that. How many fields are exactly 15 in length? You can find all that. So, but one of the things is being able to search for fields linked to a source field. We found a lot of people were really looking for that functionality, and we built it into this format search engine.
Yeah, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack without this new feature. I mean, it's amazing. We can go through. We can have,
Yep, I could type it. I can prompt. So all that's available. Every single format here, we'll do star all, and then the field name L1 case. So show me every field type too. So you can narrow it down by text or barcode or anything. So just show me every field that might be using data field L1 case on all my zebra labels. There they are, there's 3 of them. So I can go into those formats now, SHLBL, U2, UMB, UNA, and make the necessary changes. So rather than going into each one, page up, page down, trying to find all the fields, you got it listed here. So format search utility, big deal. So can't wait to get this in your hands as well. Backing out. And one last thing, which I'll show on MMPI as well, SQL ability. Both and in both environments, MarkMagic AS400 and MMPI, one of the first things you have to do is create a connection to your databases, to your various databases. So there's a new utility, work with database, option 21, and there's a few already created here. So we support Oracle, MySQL, and Microsoft SQL. But I just want to show you real quick, the interface for adding the connections in MarkMagic AS400 side, and you can do tests and make sure your connections are good, and it's going to make sure it's good and you test successful. So, but I'll show more of that on MMPI. And we have a live demo there, but just showing on this side that the functionality is here too. And one last thing too, if I F1, so everyone knows F1 is help pretty much anywhere. You can do F1 on anything in MarkMagic now and get to web help. So F1, and this is going right to our website, cybra.com, and format menu. That's what I happen to be on. If I go to the print menu and go to label file, F1, label file, tons of information here now at your fingertips. I can go on the left and just expand these out and find all the help documentation now. So it's all there.
I'll just add, not only is the help documentation completely updated for version 10, for the folks that have used the help in the past, like the green screen help, you had to make sure you had it installed on your PC. We had that little bat file, like when you install JMagic, you also install the help file. All that has completely gone away. There's nothing you have to install on your PC. So it's all built in and embedded.
So I mentioned that search utility. There's tons more to it, and come to the help page and you can see everything about the search utility. So
there you go.
I love it. So close those down and I'm in MMPI. Look at that. I'm logged into my MMPI server on my cloud right now. So my cloud that's on my local PC. So those of you might have seen that. Hey, this local host. How's that cloud? Well, I've got MarkMagic PI running on my PC as a server. Anyone else could connect to it if they wanted to in the office. So I'm logged in. This is the main administration page for MarkMagic PI. Just to show you the same thing here. Work with user database. So we've got MarkMagic PI hooking up to the same Oracle database here. So you basically create the list of connections ahead of time, and then when you go to JMagic, I'll show you that, you start using these connections now, building your SQL statements. So we go and edit it. I can show you, the IP address for your database servers, give it a name, ports, all that good stuff, user names and passwords, and you can do the test. Looks good. Same for MMPI. We've done web help for that as well. MMPI web help. So it's a whole new menu system on the left here showing you all the stuff for MMPI web. Quick print menu, lots of stuff in the quick print menu. So all of it's explained here at your fingertips. So I'm very proud of this new help system for you guys. Should be a great resource for you. So we'll minimize this and we'll open up JMagic again. Let me close this one.
Yeah, so it's another thing we didn't make a big deal about is when you fire up JMagic, the new options here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so right in the beginning, I've connected to MMPI in the past once already, but once you do that, it saves it for you. So same JMagic tool, connect to totally different instances of MarkMagic. So PI, logging on. Open that up. And there's a format here. It's an invoice that I like to show. It's under the HTTP/CL5 driver, new. Welcome to SQL. So I like to just start off right now with the preview. We'll do a print preview in JMagic using a data that I have on my desktop. I know that it prints four invoices, 4 different invoices. If I hit OK, we'll notice that it's pulling in 6. And that's because down here, this whole section is being built using SQL. And I've only reserved 3 rows of spots for that information to come in because we're doing a repeat lookup. We're looking up everything for this customer 2180-1410. And this person has more than 3 order history. So when this invoice gets printed, even though there's 1 row of info to get 1 page, we know to make another one. So we duplicate it and then put the rest. So that's going to be using SQL repeat, creating extra pages if there's more data coming in than is available spots on the page. So we keep going. This person has no order history. You noticed a lot of stuff got turned off there too. This format also has conditions built on it, so to turn extra things off when not needed. But if we go next again, this person does, Patrick. He's got order history and more than 3. So we can go ahead, he's got 2 more on the next page. So that all was duplicated and then the last page here. So for Lisa, she doesn't have any order history. So let's take a look at that SQL statement. So these are just fields that are just waiting to get data pushed into them from an SQL statement. The way this format's designed, it's working against the master format. So I have to open that up because that's where all the data elements are. So it's using this cend master. If I turn on the field list, you can see these are all the data fields that MMPI knows about and puts data into. And there's a bunch of fields at the bottom that are going to be used for SQL. So if we look at under the utilities, SQL, order history. I'll edit that one. So this is sort of like a little wizard. It could be a wizard or it could be advanced. You can just straight type. If you're an SQL pro, which I'm not, you could type all this out exactly as you wanted, or you could use this wizard where you click that and you can literally browse out and pick fields right from the tables that you want to pull in. So it's live browsing that Oracle database. And I'm pulling in 4 fields: item, description, or date, item URL. I've got it set to repeating, so it'll keep on looking anytime the customer ID. I'll just look them all up, every single repeat row. And you're basically saying compare. This is a compare field from our format, cust number. This is already part of the MarkMagic format. And you know what I could do before even trying to do a test print. You don't even have to worry about trying to go out and do a test print and figure out if it works. You can do it right from here. I could do a test of this statement. So we'll do a test. Compare field is customer ID, cust number. And what do we have here? It's 218-0140. Oh, I wrote that down wrong, didn't I? 401. Guessed wrong.
I do not remember one of your order numbers as much as I would love to help you here. So you just need a valid order number here is all you need. So we'll look it up.
Yeah, I wrote it down, 218-01410. There we go. Back to the master. Test 218-01410. There we go. So the test worked. So that 218-01410, this is showing everything was pulled in.
That's great for me because I'm not an SQL person and I could probably mess up my statement. So it's a great way to test.
You know ahead of time.
Some information coming back like, okay, it's a nice little sanity test. Yep.
Yeah. So we're just saying we're pulling in 4 fields. Now we need to know which 4 fields to put those in. So you put these, you choose the fields that are in your master format, right in order, and you can see here it's taking item number, putting it into item number from the master, taking description from the database, putting it in description, MarkMagic field, and so on. And yeah, and you could have all sorts of different SQL statements here, pulling in from multiple different databases. You even have ones chaining off each other. So this is just one simple little example, pulling in for that order history section at the bottom here. all that got pulled in. So very cool. Yeah, SQL. Can't wait. Another thing I can't wait to see what you guys do with it.
Yeah. So that's like another area where we have accounts already that are looking to use this, like, you know, within MarkMagic, especially in the PI world, where they don't necessarily want to define or keep track of all the fields in a flat file. So this makes it like even easier for them. It's like, you know what? You could just pass us your order number or your LPN number or whatever, something that's a key, and all the other fields on the master format or on your actual printing formats, wherever you have it designed, can be using the SQL feature and looking up from multiple databases on multiple platforms and all that stuff, all behind the scenes, all without any programming, and it makes the integration piece that much easier.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope you like it. And I can't wait.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Ken. I appreciate that. So we got some time for some questions. Let's see. I'm just we can bump it up to, we got another 4 or 5 minutes. And I'll field a few, Phil. You probably see a bunch of, there's a bunch that have come in, and there's no way we're going to get to all of them. A lot of great questions, so we will get back to you individually if we don't answer your question live here. Let's see, Chris, you had a few questions. Since MarkMagic supports multiple concurrent versions, right? So up on the AS400, you get version like 9.5 and version 10. This question is, will JMagic 10 also work with MarkMagic 9? So the answer to that question is no, but that's okay, Chris, because you can have as many JMagics installed as you would like. So you can have JMagic 9 installed and also JMagic 10 installed, all on the same PC. And when you start up JMagic 10, it automatically connects to MarkMagic 10, and same thing as with JMagic 9, it'll go right to version 9. Yet another question, is print monitor included or is it an add-on options? Yeah, so all that is an add-on option. Similar to our print transformer, which is like rules-based, and condition printing is an add-on option. Print monitor is also an option. It's already installed on your system, so all we do is give you an access key to turn it on, basically, and you can start using it. What else we got? I asked Francie's questions. You got one, Phil? You want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. I think I know this. I think I know this answer. Is JMagic still free?
Yes, I could have told Chris that too. So it's free, so you don't have to pay for JMagic 10. So you can you can install JMagic for free on as many systems as you want. No problem. Not a problem at all.
I'll shoot another one at you. This is from Jeff. I noticed the advanced option when Ken was showing the SQL feature. How advanced can that be?
Ooh, I think he must be like an SQL like black belt is what it sounds like. So it could be as advanced as you want. I know like our developers here, I mean, they love SQL, they know it inside and out, and they do joins and then the advanced tab. So it's a free form. You can go ahead and write whatever SQL you would like in that advanced tab.
It's just,
have at it.
You just write it.
Yep.
It's what it is. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like the wizard thing because I point and click and I browse and I build my own little statement. And there's also like select all. You can bring in all, obviously, just the asterisks. You can bring in all the fields instead of just a few. And that's all part of it as well.
Cool. Ready for another one, Chuck?
I am.
All right, we got a lot of questions. Looking through these. So this is from Brad. We run MarkMagic on the AS400. Can we use your new ifs monitor feature to automate signature capture and conversion?
Oh, that's a good question. I did not think of that, and the answer is yes. See, your customers know, they always have better ideas than we have. So what he's saying or asking is on the IFS, so he must have like a signature capture program, right? Where someone signed something, or heck, we could even take it from part of a form that somebody signed. But yeah, we can watch the IFS, so save that signature there, an image of it or PDF of it, doesn't matter. And that new feature that's watching the IFS for the directory can automatically convert that signature into a MarkMagic source image and a target image. You can use it to print and archive and PDF it out onto another form for chain of custody and all that stuff. That's a great use case. Yep, we can do that. Very good.
Okay. Yeah, we're at an hour, Chuck. Do you want any more questions?
We're gonna have to stop. I'm gonna do one. One just came in from Matt, and he's asking how long would an AS400 upgrade take going from for the AS400? Yeah, going from, this will be the last one, from 9.5 to 10. And Kat, I'll throw that one to you. How long would you say that the upgrade process will take?
Oh man, anywhere from a couple of minutes to maybe 5 to 10. It really depends on how many user libraries you have, because it's going to go through each one and it converts each user library from 9 to 10. So if you have many user libraries with 1,000 formats in each one, it'll take a little bit. But I mean, I've never seen these installs go any more than 10 minutes now, and these systems are so fast.
Right. Yeah. So it's pretty quick. So that's great. So that'll all be available at midnight on our website. You can go there and you can download all this. There's actually, we already have a separate page on the website for version 10 that talks about all the new features. You can go ahead and access that now if you like. And as I said at the beginning, please feel free to reach out to us, sales@cyber.com, help@cyber.com, with any additional questions, or if you want to do a go-to-meeting, a one-on-one, we're happy to do that. The folks that ask the questions, I will make sure we get you some swag, some of those masks and bags. If we email you for an address, please send back an address that's good for you if we don't have one on file already. And there's a number of questions we did not get to. James, I see you. We will get back to you. You got a couple questions there. We'll get back to you individually later on today. So I want to thank Ken and Phil and all you folks for joining us today. And Phil, any last thoughts you want to share with the group?
No, that's it. Just thanks everyone for participating today. And yeah, I'll be up late tonight getting the installers on cyber.com, so you guys can download it first thing in the morning tomorrow, or at midnight if you want.
Awesome. Thanks again, everyone.